How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with another live stream, and yeah, it's kinda been just a little bit. Ooh, that's not muted, so let's close that out. So apparently the stream is going live and the sound sounded pretty decent. So we are in the testing servers as it says on the screen there, hopefully, and yeah, we're gonna test out farming. I got quite a few requests to not only just live stream but also stream this particular update, so we could kind of take a look around. I also thought maybe like start a new character and try this out from kind of scratch, more or less. But oh, how's it going, Blood Raven 56? But yeah, so testing 224. This adds placeable fluids. You can, remove fluids. You can solidify them, and farming, of course. So pretty awesome. And here's where it's like, oh, I wonder if I can like part the seas, so to speak. But let's take a look at, I guess, some of the farming mechanics. And let's see here, do I have it on me? Here it is. Here's a totem with the solidifier, so you can like literally solidify fluids. Make your own bridge. Really handy for dealing with lava as long as you don't fall through cracks like that. But oh, very nice. So yeah, here's some, well, it says tuber plant, but it's regular earth yams. And what's really nice is since I did the video on this, they've added this where you can see how happy the crops are, basically. So it's not that you get 100% of the time yield and seed, but it's like 100% happy, basically. That's a real nice addition. Here's kind of where I've set up a bunch of testing type stuff. Here's all the things that you can grow. So all of the starberries, caro nuts for bark, oats, and wax. We have our 3 grains right here, the Oryza ortivia and the Avena ortia. So that's rice, oats, and the oats can actually be used to make milk, which is pretty awesome. And then, of course, all of the earth yams. So particularly excited about the exotic earth yams because, yeah, I don't care too much for farming those. Actually, farming them with mud's not that bad, but getting the surface resources is pretty kind of painful a little bit. How's it going, Ollie? Hi, Jiivita, missed your live streams. Yeah, I miss doing them. And yeah, I actually intended to start this live stream like an hour and a half ago, but then like had to like log in all these accounts, get everything set up, and oh, Twitch wanted 2-factor authentication, and so it got a little bit delayed. But I figured like you all can ask questions if you have questions about the new update. Otherwise, I might just kind of start a new character. I have a new character already made, and just kind of try out like what is it like with the new player experience of having farming from the beginning, and it's supposed to be the new main source of food, etc. Let's see here, I'm a little disappointed they didn't allow farming of beans. Those are a pain to collect. Yeah, I was really hoping for sweet beans because that's earth yams, like, farming mud, that's not that big of a deal, but the sweet beans, I just buy them. I don't have the patience to run around and get them. I mean, I do enjoy gathering surface resources. It's just compared to some of the alternative ways of getting things, it's kind of painful. But, I mean, now that they have the systems in place for farming, theoretically, they could add anything to farming. Shimmering orbs, reactive lamella. This is literally just kind of the first round of stuff. So pretty confident that there's going to be more crops in the future, and it's just going to come down to how they want to do the gathering system versus the farming system. Is the gathering system just going to be about getting seeds to allow you to farm, or is there just going to be some things you have to go out and manually get yourself or gather directly from nature rather than cultivate it in your beacon? So it's kind of And that's kind of another thing, like the seeds, they're not self-replacing. So I think like on average, you'll be able to plant a seed 4 times before it basically goes extinct or whatever. There's like only like a 75% chance to get it back each time you plant it. So you will have to go out and either buy seeds on a regular basis or gather them yourself. It's not going to be like, oh, I plant 5 crops and then I get back 10 seeds and then you just make your farm bigger and bigger and bigger. That would lead to the seeds being absolutely worthless, basically. So how's it going, Ark? Good morning to you as well. But so yeah, kind of my rambly thoughts on that. Oh, and here's I love these starberries. I'm a little bit like they changed the way, what was it, the glossy starberries look, because they were blue with the green berries, and I just thought those looked quite amazing, but they changed it to a more kind of natural look. So here's what they look like now. Previously, this was kind of a light blue color. And but this does look more realistic, but it also, I thought the other version looked much better. And here's the exotic, or not exotic, were they juicy starberries? And those look really nice. Oh. And one of my favorites, my only it's basically rice, and you know, okay, rice in real life likes to grow in water, of course, and so like the rice grows faster when it's submerged in water like this, but you actually get a bonus yield or whatever if you drain the field first. So you can make like crazy contraptions like this. I just closed the trap door and it will now drain the fields, and now my crop yield and seed yield is at 100%. However, the crops themselves would grow extremely slowly under these conditions, so just sit here and... But my only complaint is like, well, rice isn't used for a whole lot, really. Just kind of the mid-tier foods, which I don't think too many people actually use. So it's like a bit of work for, and it's fun work. Oh crap. I can't tell you how many times I fall in this hole working on this. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to kind of figure out how to do. And it looks really weird right here, but it's just a quirk of the fluid mechanics and the chiseling system, because it's like flowing at the bottom of this chiseled block. So it kind of disappears into the texture. Let's see here, what else? Oh yeah, fluids. Or not, well yeah, fluids too, but transparency. With fluids right up against glass. I mean, I showed it in the video, but just doesn't really do it a whole lot of justice. Oops. What is... Oh, okay. I was testing to see if it would grow underground. Which apparently it does. Like, I don't remember setting that one up. So yeah, now water right up against glass is much, much more transparent. So you can actually like make a window out in the underwater or whatever. And put some green torches out there because it can be a little hard to see anything. It's much more, much easier to see at night. I think another issue is maybe I just need to be deeper in the water, because then that'll filter out more of the natural light. And it's, I mean, look, I mean, you can clearly see all the trees out there. That's pretty crazy. But I guess if there's no requests, we'll just kind of experiment with starting a new character, or I have one already made, but I did kind of like fudge a little bit. I ate some skill loaves. So I'm already leveled up, but I have absolutely nothing. So we just won't have to suffer through the leveling up process. And I ate one starberry pie because, yeah, I was starving after I had all the extra energy and whatnot. So, yeah, let's just kind of run around. I guess we'll need, what, tree trunks, foliage... How's it going, Sola? And testing 224. Let's see here. How hard is the forging of the two new mechanics for fluids? Oh, like the fluid breaker and the solidifier? It's pretty easy, actually. The fluid breaker, you just it's the new venerable gun. Ooh, nice gun. Gum. The venerable gum plus any tool, so like a shovel, axe, hammer, and it's pretty easy to get. So the only boon that will be for that gum for those tools. The solidifier can only go on a totem, and since totems have 0 flexibility, they're a little bit trickier, but still very doable. And they're compatible with the 3x3 or the AoE boons, so you can do you know, a 3x3 AoE of both of those, either solidifying and breaking. Yeah, very long time since I've streamed. So yeah, working nights, it's been interesting, but I think I'm on a new schedule that I can actually stream at my regular time and like not be a complete zombie, at least. But I'm just working the weekends at the moment. The only issue is like they want me to work my regularly scheduled nights plus like a couple of extras here and there. Which is great for overtime, but not so great for trying to get YouTube stuff done. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, this is kind of a special case, but maybe we can turn this into a regular thing again. That would be really nice. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Especially if they're going to want me to work extra days on a regular basis. Or I guess they're nights, but it's kind of cool. There's now, it says the name of the color on the description, so Oxide Rose. Let's see here. So we already have some starberry seeds. And I guess I'm supposed to be getting some wood. We can go full-time YouTuber, just kidding. That would be nice. Just kind of the part about starving for a while until you actually start making some money. Let's see here, I'm so confused with this new farming update. So, like, what are you confused about? And I'll see what I can do to alleviate your confusion. Uh-oh. I don't have any grapples or a loot magnet. Let's see here. There. Oh, no. I guess that's the dangers of having lots of control without anything to back it up. There we go. But yeah, in its simplest form, you just go out and find some seeds, and then you take them home and plant them. And you can right-click on the seeds, and it'll tell you what it likes. So it likes sunlight, it likes gleam light, so you can actually grow this stuff underwater. It likes to be planted in or sown in waxy foliage, and then it likes to be near empty space or air, and then mold. So, what is a farm? Let's see here. Plant some seeds, and it's called a farm. Okay, so... oh, I guess we can handcraft a campfire now. I guess I could have set up a beacon and skipped this part as well, because... let's see here. I guess it's a little early to be crafting beacon fuels, but what else we got here? Can we do some trunks? And where's a good spot? Put this away so it's not flashing our faces. Ooh, here we go. It's a nice open field over here. Oh, so yeah, here is a wild crop of starberries. So, grow on the underside of leaves. They can be in trees. I think, yeah, there's some... what are they called? the green ones. Glossy starberries, there we go. Could not, I wanted to say waxy starberries, but that would be the earth yams. And let's see here. So yeah, the low level stuff, it will give you some of the crop itself, or I guess actually now all of them do, but I think the low level stuff is a little more forthcoming with the actual products, but mostly it'll be the seeds that you get from the wild crops. You can then plant them at home. Marijuana. Uh-oh. Yeah, I did pick a hostile world for this because, you know, I like a little conflict in my sandbox games. Yeah, the green ones. Let's see here. Kind of surprised, like usually I'm tripping over the earth yams. I haven't seen any so far. Yeah, but I guess we can go ahead and put a campfire down somewhere. That's somewhere. Okay, setting up camp. Oh, mushrooms. How do we still have beacon view on? Going to build myself a hot farm, to be honest. Awesome. But yeah, if there's anything you all want to see in particular, just do a shout out. I can always switch over to my other character and has the stuff to show off. Wortweed, there you go. Okay, so yeah, and a little bit surprised I haven't seen any earth yams. Usually they're all over the place. Maybe somebody already came through and harvested them all. Okay, so gleam over there. That'll make a handy light. Yeah, do you use pots in some farms? There's no pots yet. I guess that is one thing I forgot to mention in the video, is like the buckets will now actually remove water source blocks. I don't think you can place them back down, but let's get this so we can have a flashlight. Very nice. Like No Man's Sky's Nip Nip. Let's see. Oh! There's some earth yams. And pretty much all of the crops look really nice. Here, I want to decorate. What I want is decorative food props. Ooh, yeah, they had some concept art a while ago for just that very thing. But who knows when they'll actually get around to adding them. Where is that spitter? Oh, there he is. Yeah, he can't actually even hurt me because I have a little bit of kinetic armor. Kind of cheaty that way. Let's see here. Guess I could just blindly follow the arrows. Okay, crafting table time. Yeah, once we get some seeds, I mean, this isn't a very efficient way of doing it, but you cannot... Usually it lets you plant in grass. Check block type, orientation, or remove anything already growing. Okay. There we go. So we can see that this is basically a percentage of how happy the crop is. So it's only going to give us, it's only 50% happy as far as yield and only 11% happy as far as seeds. So we're basically not going to get any seeds back, but we'll get something out of this. And then these bars, as it starts to grow, will start to fill up. And it'll be orange until it's fully grown, and then it will turn green. And if we look at the seeds, This one, it likes sunlight, likes to be planted in tilled, silty soil, which is kind of amusing because you can till the soil even after the plant is already planted. And it likes to be near water, sand, and well-tilled soil. That's cool. They even added that because that's something I noticed. Like they like to be next to blocks that they like to be planted in, if that makes any sense. In other words, they like to be around themselves, or at least something that could support them. Okay, so what is it wanting us to do now? Acquire sticks. Okay. Well, that's timber. Got some sticks. There we go. Oh, we need one more piece of timber. Or, well, one more craft of timber. Go. Got that. Oh, it's going to make us make wood tools now. So let's go from the bottom so we don't have to keep... there we go. Let's see, let's put the hammer, shovel, then X. Rocks in my... Oh, it wants me to gather some. Okay. Go find some rock. We need more timber. Oop. Yeah, I guess pretty much early on we don't have to worry too much about farming, because we can just gather the wild crops and actually get the earth yams directly. I go back to work, just wanted to stop by and say hi. Well, thanks for dropping by. When is this update coming out? I mean, I don't know any set dates or anything like that. Generally, updates stay on testing for about a week, but for the bigger ones like this, it's not uncommon for like 2 to 3 weeks. So it's already been out on testing for at least 1 week, so I would guess next week at probably the earliest, but it's going to ultimately be whenever the update is ready. You know, the devs are like to prioritize stable updates rather than rushing something out and negatively impacting players. So in other words, I have no clue, but when it's ready, they'll release it. See you later, Sola. Let's see here. We've got... I think I picked up some... Oh, the oats. Okay. This is the one... Yeah, oats can be turned into milk as well. That's going to be so nice. Yeah, I buy pretty much all of my milk glands right now to make the persisting and teaching pies. So to be able to farm milk, essentially, is going to be so nice. Not to mention be able to grow your own flour. Because getting all the barbed seeds is a little bit annoying. I mean, you just go out and gather silty soil, basically, and you'll get barbed seeds, but still, I don't really need that much silty soil. I mean, I guess you could take like an AoE tool and just hit the surface of the grass, but I usually just go ahead and dig up everything. Okay, so, oh yeah, we're supposed to be getting rocks. And I'm too busy harvesting crops. Which I guess we could, if we can find a cave, we might even be able to pick up some copper, make a hand tiller. Let's see here. Hey Jiivita, good to see you streaming. This update is gonna be amazing. Yes, it is. I can't wait. This has been like the one feature that's like, what is Boundless missing? And that has always been, well, I guess ladders for one thing. Ladders, but then farming. It's like, this game, it just begs for farming, and they wanted to do it right, which is why they waited until after the official launch. But yeah, finally we're getting some farming. So, and I guess one of the main things I find so interesting about farming is it gives claiming land much more purpose. Like right now, it's like, okay, it's you claim land to build something interesting and store all of your stuff. But now you can actually claim that land and like make it produce stuff for you. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And of course, I guess, lots of people set up like block farms and things like that, and that's kind of vaguely the same concept, but it's just not the same as like getting your hands in the dirt, planting something, watching it grow, harvesting, replanting, irrigating, all of that cool stuff. Not to mention just placeable fluids, period. It's like, even if you're not into farming, just being able to decorate your build with water, lava, primordial resin and petroleum. That's going to be pretty epic. I can't wait to see what players do with all that. Hey Jiivita, with this update, can we pick up water and place them? Yes, we can. So here, let's just go ahead, switch over, and I'll show that off a little bit. Okay, so there's 2 new forge boons for tools and totems. Like the totem gets the solidifier boon, which will turn liquids into their solid form, so water into ice, lava into rock, the primordial resin into amber, and the petroleum into essentially asphalt. Is like bitumen or something like that. I really suck at pronouncing it, so but yeah, and all of these boons, or both of these boons, are compatible with the AoE, so you can make a 3x3 version of each. So I can come around here and just make like a little ice bridge or rock bridge if it's lava. So if you're mining underground and you run into lava, it's like, oh, I want to get those gems over there. You can just solidify, or you can forge any tool. I did a shovel just because it made sense to do a shovel versus a hammer or something. But you can come over here and break liquids, and then you get back a placeable version of that liquid. So I can now take this water and place it right there if I want to. What's really cool is you can place water on top of water, like as though it was a solid block. So I can literally make like a tower of water right here. And some pretty interesting use case scenarios for it. Like we can make water vaders or elevators out of water. Kind of, I guess, a temporary solution for not having ladders, but I made this kind of chute over here. I can just kind of drop down, land on some trampoline so I don't take any damage, but I can swim up. Just have to remember to hit the space bar. And as long as you're not going too far up and you don't start drowning, it works pretty well. And of course, can do the same thing with lava. The resin and petroleum are actually considered resources, so you can put them inside of an atlas and track them and hunt them down, but they're only found on whatchamajiggers, exoworlds. And but they'll be part of like the prefabs. Like they'll be in little pools here and there. It's kind of interesting. The petroleum will actually look like there was like a oil well or something there. But here is the primordial resin. And this was like, ooh, so pretty. It's like liquid gold or something. And if you solidify it, it turns into amber, which is that right there. That's so cool that you can drown somebody when they're AFK. Well, you can only place fluids inside of beacons. So, but I suppose if they're inside of your beacon, then yeah, you can drown them. Or you could just dump lava on top of them. And let's see here. But the thing is you can't place fluids inside of a beacon that is younger than 1 hour old. So you can't like plop down a campfire and then cover a person in lava right then and there. You'd have to wait around for an hour for you to be able to do that, or just be in your build. But you could like come up with all sorts of like evil traps, I suppose, of like lava behind doorways. They open it up and it's just like a wall of lava. Of course, all they have to do is close the door, walk away from it. But yeah, I'm sure you could come up with all sorts of evil traps and whatnot. Maybe like a lava at the end of a slide or something, but that wouldn't be very nice. But yeah, these don't really do anything to you. Of course, lava will hurt you. And they don't have really any fluid interactions. Like anything mixing with lava will make stone, but then the fluids don't mix together or have really any kind of interactions, at least just yet. There was mention of maybe like having ash made when you mix petroleum and lava, or they even talked about simulated fire. But yeah, the potential of like burning down your house. I mean, fire is fun and all until something you love burns down. So they kind of, at least for the time being, decided against that. Not to mention, I don't know if you all noticed, but the lighting has had a big upgrade, or at least a tweak. So now the metals just look, I don't know, I find it drop dead gorgeous. Like, so shiny. And not to mention black refined stone as well as marble like actually looks black instead of gray, because they're not, they don't look like they have a 3-inch layer of white wax on them. And they're still shiny and reflective, just not so much so that it alters their color. So it's pretty cool. Might be kind of hard to tell. Is like the refined stone, it is still shiny, but it's not like that overly shiny, like it looks like a completely different material. Sorry for asking so much questions, but will be my last one. Can you please show us how to forge the new tools? Yeah, they're pretty darn easy to make. Now, if you want to get like fancy and make the AoE version, that's a little bit more involved. But let's see here. Actually, I need to switch characters. Okay, so this is my forger, and oh my goodness, his inventory is a disaster, but kind of to be expected, at least for me and my crafters. It's like the status norm. Let's see here, just kind of try to restock all this stuff. Okay, so the main thing is you need venerable gum. That's the new gum that they added in the last update that, what's the things, like the auto closing doors and the like. Blanking. Oh, the buff bombs. And anyway, that will allow you to do the new fluid forges for tools and totems. So if you want to break fluids, you'll just put in any tool. So let's do a hammer. And that's really all there is to it. You apply the gum, and then you add compounds until you get it. So let's put on, how about 4 gums? And the nice thing is that there's no other boons to compete with these. So you could even like put the special gum on first until you get your AoE boon, because that has a chance for either being loot magnet or the AoE. Or you could do a loot magnet, AoE, and fluid breaker all at the same time. Which I guess we can go ahead and do that. Let's do Come on, skip. You can do 4 and 3. And about... I mean, this is kind of going overboard or being fancy, but we literally could just start putting Draining Boon Compound on here, or any compound, whatever you prefer to use, and we'll get the boon that we're after. But since we're doing both special and venerable, let's kind of do a little bit fancier. And now I just start placing compounds until we get what we want. So there's the Liquid Breaker Boon. So all we have to do is fill this up. There's only one rank of it, so pretty straightforward. There's the Magnetic Collector for the Loot Magnet. And there's the AoE. And literally just kind of keep spamming this until we get everything ranked up. There we go, we already got the Liquid Breaker. Got rank 2 of the AoE. Now we got one more. Our Fate buff just wore off, so yeah, let's go ahead. Use a Vigor Catalyst, get back some Vigor, and start it all over again. And we don't... Oh, thank you for whatever that was. It's probably... I think that was a subscription if I remember the sound effects correctly. But, so our stability and vigor are pretty even, so we don't really have to... I don't know, we can do about 1 protection paste. Yeah, we can go ahead and do 2. Go ahead. I've never really tried doing 2 fate pastes, but we'll see how well that works. And since we already have 3 boons, it doesn't matter about the gums, because what, we're going to do a special gum, and then we're still going to target these 2 special boons, and then that's already filled up, so there's no point in putting gums on at this point. And let's kind of keep going until we get these ranked up to somewhere that we like. Because, I mean, we could end this right now. It's just this low blow boon. It's only going to break 2 blocks at a time. But we'd still get the job done. We're getting some potential quirks over here. Let's see, you're in poor health. Extra action speed while at low health, so that's a little bit annoying. Carpe Diem. Damage for this... does not matter. It's a one-shot to break liquids no matter what. In fact, the very first one of these that I made, I was afraid damage was going to matter, so I went through the whole process of like putting extra damage on it, and you know, AoE, and just to find out, I was like, oh, it reduces the damage down to 0 and just breaks fluids. So don't have to worry about that. Lioness update looks great, even the Forge Tech ingredients. Yeah, there for a while, like some of the items were a little bit darker than maybe intended, but I think they got everything, like either I'm used to it or yeah, they got it all kind of fixed and whatnot. There we go, we're up to rank 3. Oh, that's literally the only thing that can be leveled up at this point. So... oh. There we go. Perfect. We have exactly what we were shooting for. So we break fluids. We got the magnetic boon, which I guess durability would have been better. And then AoE, but that's a pretty straightforward forging process. And setting resin to finish it all off. And now I just have to wait for it to set. Let's see here, we need promotion of the game. Player base is getting lower and lower. The devs don't seem to care about how many players there are. Hello. How's it going, Damaged? Let's see here, Fortunus, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, I agree. Boundless needs some more promotion. I've certainly been trying for, let's see here, however long I've been doing YouTube. It's coming up on what? Has it only been 3 years, or am I working on my fourth? I can't remember now. I'm terrible with things like that. But I mean, I don't know. They've mentioned from the start, or I forget where they mentioned this, but you know they intend Boundless to be kind of like a slow burn. And certainly after launch, I mean, the population skyrocketed, but we're still better population wise than what we were pre launch. So, and certainly I played for, what was it, 2 years in early access. And so, I mean, low population, it's like, I don't know, I guess I'm used to it. So, not to mention I'm a little bit of a hermit anyway. But, aka Snus. Okay. This year, good, helping Snoozy install Windows to the first computer she's ever had. Oh, her first computer she's built? Wow. Very nice. What do you think about PixArt on PC, PS4? I've been tempted to try PixArt. I've never actually tried it though. So, it's very tempting though. I was actually looking at it the other day in like Steam reviews, and people are complaining like, I guess Satisfactory came out, and so PixArt started adding a whole bunch of like automation type stuff, like it was trying to copy or something, and kind of made some people unhappy. Let's see, your Balance is the one and only games I've ever been playing every day for almost a year. Yeah, I'm with you there. I found Boundless, what was it? 2017, I think? Like right at the beginning. And yeah, I've hardly looked at anything else since. I mean, I occasionally play other games, especially when I'm up all night and there's like nobody else awake. But yeah, let's see here. Where does it say that? Oh, is it not going to tell me? Yeah, I think I'm like 3,900 hours so far. Kind of crazy. Let's see here. Have the devs said about farming or Titan yet? I've only logged in to refuel. So this is the farming update, Dave Z. We're on the testing servers, and yeah, I think like earliest next week this will come to live. Might be the week after, but here's some earth yams that I'm growing. I have some exotic earth yams and karu nuts over here. So you use the karu nuts for, what is it, wax, oils, and bark. And there's the exotic. We have some rice growing over here that likes to grow in water. Actually, I'll just come over here and show you the fancy field. Because the rice is kind of interesting because it gets a growth bonus when it's flooded in water, but it has a harvest bonus if you drain the field. So it encourages, you know, making inventive ways of being able to flood and drain the field. So, and actually, if I had control, I could close the trapdoor and it would drain the entire field all at once. But then there's the little individual floodgates right here where I can flood just part of the field. So, and so yeah, you can see right here, crop yield is only 51% while it's flooded, but then it grows much faster. And then if I drain the field, you can see over here now it's 100%. And that's not like you get 100% more from it. That's just saying it's 100% happy. So, kind of an important distinction. Good day, Jiivita. Wondering how the goo farms work. Can you grow good on rocks still? So goo is a pretty interesting one in and of itself because the goo will change color depending on the atmosphere you plant it in. And so there's literally two different ways to plant goo. You can prioritize getting the seeds, so you can really focus on changing the colors of the goo. But then once you get the color you do want, you can plant it to prioritize making the actual product. So let's switch characters because this one is painfully slow. So yes, we can break water with forged tools. That's actually what I just got done doing, was forging a tool that can break fluids. But here's one that's already made, and come over here and I can literally just, oops, oh, it's, I thought I was closer to the water. Literally basically dig a hole in water. It's kind of crazy. And see, I'm picking up the water over here, and then I can place it down just kind of wherever. You can only place water inside of beacons, and only inside of beacons that are older than an hour. So you can't like place a campfire on top of another player and then drown them in lava or something. So, or use it to complete meteors easily. That was another thing. They're kind of like, ooh, what do we do about lava and meteors? They're not gonna let me swim down. So dark. There we go. Okay, so here is the inorganic farming. So this is, yeah, combustion fraction. This is kindling mass. Both of these are used for fuels. It's interesting, the kindling mass is used for like speeding fuels up. So you can use it as a fuel, you can use it to enrich other fuels, and it will increase the fuel yield. I can't talk yield, but the main thing it does is it makes them burn faster. So it will make spark faster, it will smelt things faster. And then up here is the goo. This is kind of my first failed attempt at growing goo. So this crop isn't all that happy, but over here I have more optimized farms. So this is a goo farm that is optimized to make actual goo or pigment. And then over here is the same thing, except it's prioritized for making seeds. So if you want to make seeds, you plant it on rock next to mold, or not mold, growth. And if you want to make the actual product, then you plant it on sponge next to rock, and needs to be irrigated with lava. The trick is that the lava needs to be at least 1 block away from the growth, otherwise it burns up the growth and then the crop as well. So how's it going, Sanjuni? Doing pretty good, just showing off the farming update. How's it going, Conquer? I think that's how you spell your name. Say your name. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting a little tongue-tied. So yeah, that's the crux of goo farming. So as far as like shifting the colors, like I said, depending on what atmosphere you plant it on, it will alter the color of the goo. But if you're on either a home world or a lush world, it has no effect. If you're on a coal world, that'll shift it towards the black. The elements are pretty self-explanatory as far as their colors, like a burn world, it'll make it more red, and toxic world will make it more green. Metal world will do something, I'm not really sure which way it goes for metal worlds, but should be pretty interesting. So you can go to those atmospheres, plant it under these conditions to get the seeds back each time until you finally do get the color that you want, and then take it to your lush world farm or home world farm, wherever, and actually harvest the crop to make pigments. Let's see here, the goo on the rock, you don't need lava like the sponge version. Oh, so yeah, if you're growing for seeds, you just need rock and growth. So yeah, I have the seed yield at 100%, it doesn't need to be irrigated. If you're going for crop yield, then you'll need to irrigate with lava. And all of the crops, they only consider the horizontal plane. So if you put lava below this, it doesn't count. You put rocks below it, it doesn't count. It needs to be in the same horizontal plane. And irrigation will go 2 blocks over, and the blocks that it likes to be next to will go 3 blocks, or it will consider blocks within 3 blocks. I might have missed this. Do organic crops need certain soils too? So yeah, each like once you get the seeds, it'll tell you exactly what they need. Here we go. So like earth yams, it likes to be planted in tilled, silty soil. So we have a hand tiller right here. Just hit the soil and it tills it. And likes to be in sunlight. You can grow it in gleam light, so you can grow this stuff underground if you like. It likes to be near water, sand, and other tilled soils. So, in other words, just planting this next to other tilled soils will make it happier as well. And exotic earth yams likes to be next to water, dark glass, and tilled soils as well. It likes to be planted in tilled peaty soil. And there's also fertilizer that will make it grow faster. From my understanding, it doesn't do anything to the actual yield, just how long it takes to grow. And each crop will give you at least an idea of how long it takes for it to grow. So like this exotic earth yam, it says 9 hours. The way it actually works is each in-game day, which is like 15-20 minutes, there is a chance for it to like tick essentially or grow to the next stage. And if you look at the crops, you can see its health bar has like the sausage links. So each time it successfully ticks, a link will fill in its health bar, and once it fills up, it turns green. There, it's a little bit easier to see right there. Hi Jiivita, the new update looks good. We'll have to log in more often now. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for farming. It's been one of my highly anticipated features. And yeah, this is kind of the old setup. They've changed several times what things like to be next to, so this is an older version of an optimized goo farm that clearly doesn't work anymore. So, let's see here. What else? Oh, you can take a look. Like, this is a spray tinter, so once you make a whole bunch of color spray, you can... Let's see here, let's take some of this. Oops. There we go. So you can put blocks in here along with the color spray, and it will start dyeing those blocks a certain color, or you can literally just take this and spray paint the world. Oh, that is really cool. So yeah, I was kind of wondering why they didn't do this. Originally, it didn't show the block being spray painted. Like, it would do the animation, and it didn't even have the little puff of color either. That is really cool. But I can just take this spray and, ooh, they even put a little effect on the item too. Very nice. The qualifier for the spray is, the color spray, is that you can only do it on wood and stone-based items. So if it's made out of stone or wood, or it gets its color from those objects, then you can color those. However, things like dirt, grass, gravel, gleam, metals, foliage, things like that cannot be colored. So I can color this wood, it just has to be stone or wood. And that's not to say eventually they'll support the other materials, it's just this first round doesn't support it. So you're getting overspray everywhere. Yeah. Wow, that is like crazy bright too. I mean, it is bright green, so I mean, what do I really expect? Let's see here, what's something... Oh, I bet we could spray our workbench. That's colored with wood. Yep. Oh, you could do the individual blocks of the workbench. That's crazy. And once you dye something, it is permanent, at least until you dye it with something else. So I could break these storage blocks, move them around, and they will keep their color. So, pretty cool. Here, yeah, I have, what is this one? Ashen taupe. Got some black. We can put that one there. Yeah, this is a color I would love to have on the live servers currently. That, and I think this is light tan right here, but this is fairly reminiscent of the sedimentary rock that we had in early access. And yeah, I missed that color. But do like all of these black with one green one in the middle, and then it's like, oh yeah, we click on the green one to access everything. But I can't spray paint the spitter. That would be awesome. Yeah, neon. Okay. Oh, and so here's some quirks of placeable fluids, is that they will not leave your beacon, even if it's butting up against another beacon that you have permissions to. Originally, I thought it was supposed to flow into beacons you had permissions to, but either it's bugged or it's just not a thing, which really that's the way I would prefer, because these are two different accounts as far as beacons are concerned. So like, even if I give a friend permissions to my beacons, I'm not sure I want their lava flowing into my beacon regardless. Maybe they could add like a special permission just for fluids, but you can take this to your advantage or use this to your advantage to make some interesting sites, kind of like this tree that just kind of has water and it just ends because the lower part of this tree is not beaconed. And of course the leaves are, so do some pretty interesting things. Not to mention fluids out in the wilds are fully simulated now. So like there's no more coming across a cave that butts up against a lake like this and it just like ends. It will now actually flow into the cave and makes for some pretty interesting cave experiences. Not to mention, as like a new player, you could use this to kind of navigate around in the caves, get some good mining done, and then just swim your way right back out the way you came. It's kind of like, oh, this way to the exit. Because, you know, if there's water, that's going to eventually lead to the surface. So, pretty cool. Can't see what I'm doing. Guess I should put my other grapple on. There we go. Yeah, here's one of my at least early attempts at rice farming. It's like, oh, you can just plant it in the water, and then you don't have to worry about getting the whatchamajigger, the fluid breaker tool, because, you know, new player just starting off, it's a little bit hard to get going on forging. So that is one way you could get around that, is just find a lake and start planting in it. It's kind of another example over here is you can chisel blocks and flowing fluids count the same as source blocks. So you can have the gleam or the block that it likes, as well as fluid, all in the same space. So kind of allows you to make more compact farms. So very nice. Yeah, now I'm on a character that actually has some control. You come over here and show off this auto flooding, draining type rice paddy. I have to say, this was pretty interesting trying to figure out how to make this all work. Like, get it to where it like perfectly covers everything with the maximal amount of like grow space and, you know. And yeah, I did this side first. It's like really complicated, and I started to duplicate it over here and discovers like, oh wow, I made this so much harder than it actually has to be. Because I was doing all sorts of things like incorporating doors and special chiseled blocks, and you know, it's really no big deal. These kind of stair-stepped chiseled blocks do make a pretty significant difference, though, because without this kind of half step down, it doesn't flow into these other blocks over here. It just kind of makes a beeline for this door instead of coming over evenly to this other door, which would then make it not come all the way to the center here. So that was kind of the trick to setting all of this up. But I guess we can jump over and continue where we left off with the new character. Okay, so, oh yeah, we were gonna go mining. Find some copper, get some stone, maybe make a hand tiller. I could remember which direction water is. I think there's some somewhat close to our campfire over here. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully, seems like this planet likes to have caves near water. Oh, spitter! And get some extra seeds while we're at it. No, oh, there we go. It's a hidden cave. Try not to take fall damage here. There we go. So here, let's follow the water so we have a way out. Except it doesn't go down further. QQ! Really, that spitter is still after us? Oh, there we go. There's some copper. Ooh, and some iron. Very nice. Some coal. Okay, so it still wants us to get some timber. Wish I had... Oh, that's sloped, so there we go. Nice. So here, I want this update on the PS4. Yeah, hopefully sometime next week, but that's probably the earliest. But, you know, just whenever it's ready, I'm sure they'll bring it over. Yeah, I'm particularly excited for the being able to grow exotic earth yams and that was the other one, oats for milk. Not to mention the color sprays, because there's like a huge build that I want to make out of the, it's like light tan or taupe or something like that. It's very similar to the sedimentary rock that we had in early access, and it's a color that I really miss. And there's the warm yellow rock from the tier 5 planets that's vaguely the same, but it's just like it's a darker, kind of dirtier color. and at least for me, just doesn't really do it for me. So that's gonna be the one thing from goo farming I'm really gonna try to figure out how to get. Probably have to do a fair amount of tinkering on the different elemental worlds to try to get the color just right, or at least get a variety of pigments. That's the other thing. I was going to show the pigment mixer, because you can actually mix pigments together to get different colors. So that's going to be really nice. Because you just kind of have to get in sort of the right ballpark, sort of the right colors, and then you can just mix them together, and you don't lose anything by mixing. In fact, if you have the power coils for the mixer, then you'll get a bonus. So it'd almost be worthwhile, like you could mix pigments to go together, and if they're in low enough ratios, you'll get the same color back, or at least the color that you actually want, just for the bonus. So I can take about this green and black. Oh, I need the pigments, not the sprays. Let's see here. Let's hit the right button here. So what is it? Is it dye or pigment processor, color spray? Is it just pigment? This goo pigment? Here, let's give 100 of that. Yeah, there we go. Goo pigment. Let's get a different color. There we go. There's about luminous red. I can take 25 of this black and turn it into 31 spray. I can take some of this other color and they add together. So I get 62 spray, I get a 24% bonus because I have all the power coils for this machine. But I could literally like just put in a few. Oh, that still changes the color. There we go. So it's still black, but I get that 24% bonus from the goo. So pretty cool. Or I guess I could just do just the straight up black, and it's kind of the same thing because you got to turn it into spray no matter what, but you can kind of mix in some other colors to a lesser extent to kind of stretch it out without changing the color. Or if you're trying to get a different color, like, you know, oxide gray, put in even some more, see what we get. Shift it to rust taupe. Ooh, that sounds like an interesting color. So, pretty cool. Not to mention we got multicolored power coil beams. It's pretty cool. And I can go ahead and start this just to... Uh-oh. Crash the game! It's too epic for Boundless. Let's see here. Run Boundless. There you go. And yeah, this is why it's still on testing. No! Oh, he's like, no! It'll come right back up. Unless, of course, I crash the entire server by making color spray. Which I kind of highly doubt. But didn't actually... Do I dare try it again? Let's see if it's... No. Oh, is it repeat? Oh, it is repeatable. Goodness. I wonder what's wrong with my... what do you need to make the power coils? I think the main thing is refined blink. So they're not exactly cheap. But then again, blink is as far as exo materials or luminous materials are concerned, is pretty easy to get. Although I have my suspicions that Umbris will be even easier to get. But of course we haven't seen an Umbris planet yet, so who knows. But theoretically Umbris will like being up in the mountains, whereas Blink, like, oh, it seems to love, whatchamajigger, lava. But if you can find just the right conditions, then you can, mine it in relatively, peace from the lava. But it takes like a very particular biome for that to work. Let's see here. So what is wrong? We're doing 200. It's not using just an excessive amount of spark, so I wonder, maybe we just like break the machine and replace it or something. See if we can fix our bugged machine here. Yeah, man. There we go. Oh yeah, I keep trying to put the color spray in. I got excited. It's like, ooh, you can like put the pigment in, turn it into spray, and then put it back in and like just keep like proliferating the same color over and over. But yeah, you can't put the color spray back in and reprocess it, like, duh. But got a little excited. It's like, oh, you could just like spend spark and time to make pigment over and over. But nope, that's not how it works. So let's see. Yeah, so something's wrong with at least my setup here. We could try a brand new machine and see. Rift is so difficult to find. Any tips on how high and low you need to be? So yeah, let's see here. Where's my notes here? Oh, it's underneath my chat window. Here we go. Did I not write it down? Yeah, it's a little bit deceptive because the knowledge tree says like down deep, but it's not as deep as you might think. It's like between 20 and 30 or 40, something like that. I'll have to take a look at my duty die over here. Where'd it go? This one? Maybe? Here we go. Okay. Getting there very slowly. Oh, is that's Blink. Where's the Rift? Oh, I think that'll get us in the... Oh, there it is. Maybe. Yeah, that's Rift, but... Okay, here we go. So yeah, Rift likes to be between elevation 25 and 45, looks like. So. But yeah, I agree. Rift is like... It has such a wide range of where it can be, but then... And that's like the best range. It has like an even wider range than that. So like using the Atlas is like, do I need to go up? Do I need to go down? It's like, yeah, this is a hot spot for it, but it's really spread out in its space. Let's see, your YouTube videos have taught me all I know, give me so many ideas for buildings and everything. This farming update looks dope as hell. Oh, glad you're enjoying the videos and find them helpful. Let's see here. So let's try just a brand new pigment processor, I guess. Oh. Give item. Whoops, I just deselected the pigment processor. So let's give, we only need 4. We don't need 100 of these things. Give that pigment power coil. Just need 24. And see if it's my machine that's bugged or is the machine just bugged in general. And yes, I cannot talk today anymore. Oh, thank you for, I'm assuming that was a subscription. I think all my fancy notification thingies are like not working correctly. It's kind of like use it or lose it, and I haven't streamed in a while, so like everything is not exactly working 100% apparently. Thank you, and I've got some grinding to do tonight on the Exo World. That's out now. Oh yeah, because there's a Rift World out right now. Yeah, probably should be gathering some Rift, but I don't know. I have enough to make the Chrysominter power coils whenever they finally release an Umbrus World. I guess I could do meteors to try to get Umbrus, but yeah, I'm lazy, I think, at least in that regard. Okay, so... Oh, but we're not going to have any spark. Should have put it closer. I guess we can do some spark link and use that core. Surely it'll reach. So let's do spark link. Gonna look really ugly, but it's for science. Yeah, man. Dope. I'm gonna run out of the limit before I get over here. Oh my goodness. Come on. Yeah, I didn't really think this through. Almost. Dope. Ah! Okay. Not very pretty, but it gets the job done. Let's see here. We got our 24% bonus. Got our 100 of each. Let's see here. I think it was like that. The black and then the luminous red. Yeah. So I guess the next question is, is it just that combination of pigments? So we could try making a different color and see if it still crashes. Or if you all want to see something different, I'll be more than happy to, you know, we could either go back to the new character and experiment with early farming, or I could continue doing bug testing, because, I mean, yeah, this is what I do in my own time, and I could do just that, do this in my own time. Let's see here. So that should, yeah, oxide gray, yeah, that is a different color. So yeah, it just does not like that at all. Okay. I guess I'll make a post at some point. Let's see here. Guess I'll do one more to see if if it's power coil related. Excuse me. What is the approximate drop rate for harvested seeds on farm mats or farmed mats? Like how often do you get seeds back? They released a point update not too long ago that the maximum seed yield rate will be basically 75%. So they said on average you'll be able to plant your seeds 4 times before they um, basically disappear on you. Let's see here. I guess we could just break the coils or... Yeah, it was like previously 67%. So you could like plant them essentially 3 times before they took off on you, but yeah, could be worse. Exactly. Yeah, it could be like you plant them and you just don't get seeds back at all, which that would be kind of painful. It's like I understand the need for it, but from a farming standpoint, it's like, are we just really bad farmers and we can't make a self-sustaining crop, or is like something wrong with the plants and they can't reproduce effectively? In that case, how is this stuff even growing out in the wild? So, but I mean, if you could double your seeds every time you planted, then seeds would be just absolutely worthless. I mean, it'd be worse than silty soil and rock. So I see why, a diminishing seed population or whatever is necessary, at least in that case. But I mean, seems like there should be another way to work around this, like maybe make other uses for the seeds to where you'll plant some of your seeds and then use them in crafting, or like maybe just use the actual product as the seed, but then that opens up a whole slew of issues. So it's, I see why they've done it the way they've done it, but I was a little bit disappointed to see that that you couldn't at least replant what you already had. But that'd be the stuff of dreams, though. It's the creature breeding. Can I have a wild stock farm? Oh, so yeah, this is agriculture only for the time being. So, however, you can grow oats and turn the oats into, I guess, oat milk, or you can turn it into milk as far as the game is concerned. So you can still get milk glands and turn that into milk from wild stock, but we now have at least an alternative to mass murdering wild stock. Um, but I don't know. I never cared that much for the animal husbandry type thing in Minecraft. It's like it's like a crop that moves around, and so I always kind of found them a little bit annoying. But it would be kind of cool, especially like if you could actually use, like, say, a wild stock as either a mount or a pack mule. Then that would be completely different. But as far as just having livestock for meat and things like that, it's like, well, I can just go hunting for those things. What's up? ETA? Oh, yeah, go another 20 or so minutes, I guess, and oh, or maybe not. Kippy's like, food. I want food. Okay, I'll wrap it up. We've been going for an hour and a half. Okay, but yeah, let's see if it's a power coil. Nope. Oh my goodness. So, is it something wrong with those colors? Oh, is it not launching the game? I think I hit the button too soon. Maybe. Or it's still thinking about it. Oh no. I broke Boundless. What? Okay, well maybe this will be the end of the stream because let's see here. Maybe we can look at the task manager and my computer might think or Steam might think that Boundless is still running. I don't see it. Here, I guess we can exit Steam and relaunch it. Yeah, I broke it exactly. Oh, here we go. Yeah. It's Steam was probably thought the game was still running. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll have to start doing this more often. It just kind of it's hard of my sleep schedule. I mean, I could do all sorts of streaming at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know. I don't think there's really going to be that many people awake unless you like live in Australia or somewhere like that. Because I mean, I've literally been attending the Australian hunts because those are the only hunts that are going when I'm awake most of the time. This is kind of a like I was saying earlier in the stream. I'm now I basically just work the weekends, so like I get off Monday morning, I can get like some sleep and kind of turn around a little bit to then be able to stream on Tuesdays. Unless they want me to work extra. Like they were wanting me to work last night, they want me to work tonight, and I'm like, I need some days off here. You know, Boundless is calling me. But yeah, so I don't know what's up with. I mean, we can try a different color. I'll do one more test, and if it crashes the game, then, you know, I guess it'll be good. Let's see here. Give menu. Was it goo pigment? Come on. Goo pigment. There we go. How about, was it 228 is white? And I know this has worked in the past. So I'll make a straight up gray. And it might be just something goofy about that particular color combination. Nope, it's just not working at all. If you need, I'm sure Icon would definitely run an early or later hunt bud. Oh, really? Oh, Damage is like, oh, really? He's still trying to get the mixer to work or pigment processor. Okay, so yeah, this is what I do on most of my free time in Boundless is test things and crash the game over and over and over again. The part you all don't get to see in the update videos, but okay, so yeah, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more like this, and hopefully we can stream on a more regular basis. And yeah, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.